What have we done?
Ndio huyu OCS huyu, kwa nini anatoroka wananchi? Unakimbia kwa nini? Watu wangu wanatupiga tear gas, tumepata nini? What have we done? Wacha tuongee na OCS bwana. Wacha tuongee na OCS. OCS wacha kutoroka. Wacha kutoroka wananchi. Wacha niongee na yeye bwana. Bwana OCS, we are talking to you. Why are you here? You know our offices are here.
We are with you.
Why are you thinking us? Tumekosa nini kuimba hapa tu? Kuimba.
Bwana OCS.
Officer, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Tumekukosea nini? Tumeharibu nini? Tumekukosea nini? Mbona unaharibika? Mbona unaharibika? Unakimbia kwa nini? Why are you running away?
Bwana OCS.
Anatoroka nini na niende anatupiga tear gas? What I'm done to you?
Sasa sisi tunafanya makosa gani?
OCS unatoroka kwa nini?
Anatoroka bure. Sisi tunataka kuongea na wewe. OCS ongea na OCS ndiye. These are members of parliament. We are members of parliament. Ongea na sisi.
Hatuna silaha. Hatuna silaha, tuende kwa ofisi yako. Reinforcement ya nini? Reinforcement ya nini? Nataka kuongea na wewe.
Wewe hiyo usifanye hiyo.
OCS ongea na wananchi bwana. Wewe bwana OCS. I brought in some of these hecklers here are the ones who voted for this law, and they are here telling us Shah is working.
Senator,
and people are dying in the states.
Said order, honorable senators, order. Now, Senator for Nairobi City Council, kindly withdraw the word heckler.
I hear people calling themselves Kalenjin warriors on the floor of this house. And they call themselves founder members of ODM. Shindwe kabisa.
Honorable senators. Honorable senators.
And he was telling us that those of us who are able to pay more should do so that Harambes are a thing of the past. Are Kenyans still holding Harambes to fund Medicare? Yes, they are. Therefore, Shah is not working. Honorable Speaker, because again, I will not tire to remind the country that I am the author of the MOU signed between Raila Odinga and Now, secondly, Trevor, I can forgive Salasia for refusing to read this document and assuming Sifuna signed it. But I cannot forgive Professor Ojienda. Because, Professor, you are a lawyer. When you see people running away from a document, and that's the reason I have brought this thing here, because there's been a lot of nonsense being said about the contents of this document. Luckily for us, all of us here, we are lawyers. They know about the parole evidence rule, that once the contents of an agreement have been reduced into a document, you do not introduce oral evidence to explain its contents, because the document will speak for itself. The people who are supporters of this animal, called broad-based, are running away from the contents of the document. That is why the president gets annoyed with me when I remind him what the document says. So when you see Ojienda coming and telling us, oh, there is the document, then there is a philosophy. Read the document. This document is not what brought the former chairperson of ODM into government. As I've said, Trevor, that so-called broad-based animal started existing in Ruto's mind before this document was signed. This document was signed on 7th of February 2025. By that time, Mbadi, Joho, and the others were already in cabinet. This document is not the reason why they are there. And if you want to understand the discussions that went prior, the philosophy is captured here, Ojienda, that we understand that a nation will not develop without reinforcing democratic governance and the rule of law. And I wish, Trevor, you brought to me on this issue alone so that I can explain to you the contents of this document, so that people like Ojienda don't introduce things that are not there. You are a professor of law. Please don't behave like Salasia. Read the document so that you understand and explain to your people what it says.
Mimi Sifuna sitakuwa baadhi ya wale ambao watachangia kuangusha chama cha Raila Amolo Odinga. Baba, because ODM is one of your biggest legacies, Your Excellency Baba, I as Sifuna will do everything in my power to keep this party united and together.
So Sifuna, how do you uphold the separation of powers?
The public can see why I cannot take advice from Farah Maalim. Yeah. When he tells me to go slow, my wings will fall off. They are my wings. Let them fall off if they will. But I will move at the speed that I'm moving with. Because it is, I want to tell you, Farah, it is possible for a president to govern in accordance with the law. You are saying things that do not even exist. And I want to advise you to leave the law to the lawyers. Because
can I just remind you one thing? Can I just remind you something?
Let me
just
finish.
write it down, Farah.
I have said I have refused all your advice. Because I can see you are speaking from a position of severe ignorance. There is no law in Kenya against being gay. That law does not exist. You've just created it here. The criminal or the penal code puts a penalty on having sexual conduct that is against the order of nature, including between a man and a woman. There is a law in this country called statutory rape. You people, where you come from, call it early marriage of children. You will not speak about those things, Farah, because you know you are picking the ones that you think are convenient for you to push your arguments. When somebody takes this constitution and swears upon it, he should know what he's swearing upon, Trevor. If you read this document at Article 2, it tells you what forms the law of this country. It includes customary law, but that customary law must be in accordance with this constitution. It includes the general rules of international law that shall form part of the law of Kenya. Judges develop the law, my brother. They develop the law. When there's those gaps in the law, they will tell you, like the Supreme Court,
so
when they identified, let me just say, when the Supreme Court identified gaps in the presidential case regarding whether a majority of commissioners should agree or whether all the commissioners should participate in announcement of the presidential results, they threw that ball back to Parliament. But when Parliament goes to make those laws, Parliament itself as an institution is subject to the Constitution. The Constitution requires that participation of the people was elevated from the KANU Constitution, which I'm sure is still stuck somewhere in your head. It elevated the people's participation in lawmaking to a level where if you do not have effective public participation, that law will be struck out. That is not judicial overreach. Now, all of these things, Trevor, my brother Mungatana was trying to paint a picture of us in the opposition as people who don't participate in debates, and is trying to conflate my decision to reject or not to sit there and listen to Ruto's lies during the presidential debate. And do you know what? No. Even during that presidential debate, nobody is allowed to speak.
I think
just let me finish. Let me finish.
Parliamentary.
Let me finish.
Let's be parliamentary.
We are not in Parliament. How can we be parliamentary? We are on TV. We are not in Parliament. King is not here to protect you. We have to speak the way we speak. This is not Parliament.
No, you
I can say. Who says I cannot say? This is not your show. It is his show. Let him be the one to tell me what I can say.
Let me address.
Let me finish.
I'll finish. Let me address.
And then you'll address me.
Let
me finish first.
But you cannot call people
let me finish first.
How can you say this is a lie?
It is the English language.
No.
If something is not true, it's called a lie. This is not Parliament.
In my custom, you don't talk to elders or people.
Pokomo custom. We are not here under Pokomo customary law. We are not here under Pokomo customary law.
Talk with respect. Talk with respect.
What I want to say here.
This is not a public rally of ODM. You can't come here and start calling the president lies.
If you want us to operate,
the
president is not a Pokomo. The president is not a Pokomo. He's not an elder.
He's
not an elder.
Okay, Mungatana, hold on.
No, Sifuna, he should.
Kama wewe ni rais na lazima uambiwe ndio ufanye kazi yako, wewe toka, tuweke mtu mwenye anajua ile kazi ilimtuma kwa hiyo ofisi. Na ndio kwa maana mimi nimeshaamua. Wewe kama hujaamua hiyo ni yako na nakuheshimu. Lakini mimi nishaamua Ruto lazima akule one time na aende nyumbani. Wale wanasema two term tunawaheshimu, si ndio? na pia sisi watu heshimu, kwa sababu haiwezekani unaamka kila siku walimu wanalia, madaktari wanalia, watu wengine wote wanalia. Mheshimiwa Caleb Amisi atakwambia tunafanyishwa kazi ngumu. That is not what is supposed to be. How can there be every day the country is crying? Alikuja bunge juzi, mimi wasiendi mkutano yake, mnajua, kwa sababu kuna rafiki yetu hapa ni speaker anaitwa Weta. Unajua sheria ya bunge inasema, Caleb anajua, wakati rais anazungumza ati sisi wote tunafaa tunyamaze tu kimya. Hata akisema kitu mbaya na yenye ni uongo ya wazi, ukikohoa tu hivyo unasikia Sifuna nje miezi 6. Sasa si afadhali tu nikae huko nje ndio nirudi tena niende kuwatetea? Hakuna haja nikae hapo nikisikiliza uongo yake. Rais anakuja bunge anazungumza, kwanza amekuja na manifesto mpya. Sasa hii amesema anaanza mambo ingine 4. Ile ingine alitudanganya ya bottom up sijui iko wapi. Hazungumzii sasa hii. Unawezaje zungumzia mambo ya elimu ukose kutaja issue ya walimu wa JS? Ukose kutaja.
Stop talking. Today you and Kagushia go and get the entire army of the Kenya Defense Forces if you want. I will give you the location of Raila. Come and arrest him. You people are cowards. Stop talking and threatening us. Next week we are with you on the streets. You can arrest me now. You can arrest me now. Take me to court. You don't take people to court to test a law. You take somebody. Khalwale, you are a seasoned lawyer. You are a seasoned politician. You should know how the criminal justice system works. You don't take somebody to court. You don't take somebody to court at, let us just find out how Article 37 works. No. That is not how court processes matters of criminal conduct. You have evidence, you have the facts, you weigh the facts and the evidence, and then you take it to a magistrate and say, Sifuna uprooted the railway.
Yeah.
On this day, he was here uprooting the railway.
Okay.
If you are saying that I have paid goons, there is a trace. You can trace money. How money moves if it was sent on mobile phone. If I gave them cash, you have to show what we call a causal link.
Yeah.
And again, I'm falling into this trap of educating the uneducatable. I am not going to do it anymore. For us, Trevor, once we agree on a cause of action and we know we are right by the law and by the people, we are going to proceed. We will not explain to the constitutional illiterates what Article 37 means and the bounds of that article.
So
we are going to proceed.
You said the next week it's going to be 3.
From Monday, we will have protests. And this is the reason. We have received communication from some Kenyans. They are saying that sometimes you schedule this
through words that teach.
Governor, you will not teach me the law. Let's bring the standing orders.
I've been here for 5 years.
Let's read the standing orders together. This is not something that we need to pass by. Let us see references to governance.
And at the point that you want to discuss the character or behavior of any witness, including a governor, you bring a substantive motion.
Where?
You can't say that we're being contemptuous.
I think we are not here, Senator Sifuna, we are not here to be taught about our standing orders.
Correct.
We are here to get to know the plight of the people of Nairobi. If we can stick ourselves to that, just that one issue, we are going to move forward in a way that everybody expects us to move forward. Otherwise, I won't entertain any kind of, throwing words at each other at this specific committee where the lives of the people of Nairobi are affected. So, is it on the same issue?
Yes, on the same issue.
One or two issues. First of all, Senator Wambua, I was never bragging in the House that I was the best chair. I was rated the best by Mzalendo and other organizations. And I take parliamentary work very seriously. And so I just happen not to have been around in those circumstances. As the Senator of Nairobi has said, these leaders are known to me. Some we speak to. I respect their time. I don't choose which committee to come to or which one not to come to, And I must correct what the Senator of Nairobi is saying, that we come here on our own interest. Money for counties is not our own interest. It is for the people that we represent. In fact, the work of the Senate is to ensure we are well-resourced. And not only was I there for that meeting with the Finance Committee, I was meeting the Public Investments Committee as well a week ago or so on audit. Yeah. So it is not about my own interest. He's also said on the record that I know he doesn't live in those houses. I don't know where you live. I'm not sure enough. I don't know whether you live there or not. So just for the record. Chairman, I've been a chair of committees for 10 years. In the National Assembly, I chaired the first joint committee of both National Assembly and Senate on cohesion and equal opportunities. I've chaired the Committee of Labor. I've chaired the Committee of Security.
Kitu chochote kinifanyikie nisiwepo kufikisha hii ndoto mahali ambapo tunataka ifike.
Wanasema Mungu awalindie wewe.
Asante sana. So hata siku hizi bana siwezi kunywa tu chai bana. Nimekuja na yangu kutoka nyumbani. Jana wanasema wewe usikunywe ya Citizen.
Unaona wakisema
sasa nimeamka asubuhi nikamwambia wife weka pack sa thermos kadogo na kikombe yangu. Ni yangu boss. Msiseme ni hapa. Tafadhali buliwache. So lakini yote tisa ni kwamba hatutauziwa uongo. Kwa sababu unajua kama watu wamekosa content, wamekosa kitu cha kukukosoa, wanaenda vitu peti. Haki ya Mungu tunataka tuwe na mfumo tofauti.
Mimi ndio Sifuna, a word or a phrase that has been turned into a movement by the Kenyan Gen Z or young generation calling themselves Sifuna. So it's like the generation has been sifunated or sifunated, wherever that is. But what do we know about this man Sifuna? Most of the people, or most young people, came to know him just after when Baba was alive, and then after the death of Baba, that is when most people knew who Sifuna is. But before that, Sifuna could talk and no one could pay that much attention. Edwin Watenya Sifuna was born May 22, May 22nd, that is 1982. Is a prominent Kenyan lawyer and a politician currently serving as the senator for Nairobi County. Known for his sharp legal mind and articulate communication style, he has risen to become one of the most influential voices in Kenyan opposition politics. Born in Mumias, Kakamega County, Sifuna comes from a background that influenced his focus on governance, with familial ties to veteran politicians Lawrence Sifuna. After completing his secondary education, he pursued a Bachelor of Law at the University of Nairobi, graduating in 2006 and being admitted to the bar in 2008. That is what some people know about Sifuna. We talk about the lineage. He is the nephew of the late Lawrence Sifuna. As we said, he is somehow related to Lawrence Sifuna, the veteran politician, the former MP known as one of Kenya's 7 bearded sisters who fought for multi-party democracy. He attended Kakamega Township Primary School and Musinko High School. Higher education, we talked about Nairobi University. Sifuna practices law, admitted to the role of advocate in 2008. He practiced law in Nairobi and founded his own firm, Sifuna Associate Edwin Sifuna Associate and Associate Advocates. A political entry, he began as a technical and advisory committee member of the CORD, that is 2013-2016, and NASA 2016 to 2021 coalition 2027. He initially sought for ODM ticket for the country parliamentary seat but lost in the primaries. He then ran for Nairobi senatorial seat, finishing as a runners-up to Johnson Sakaja. Nairobi leadership, ODM Secretary General, thus in February 2018, Sifuna was appointed Secretary General of the Orange Democratic Movement, replacing Ababu Namwamba, Senator of Nairobi. In the 2022 general elections, he won the Nairobi senatorial seat with a landslide mandate. Senate roles, he serves as the Deputy Minority Whip in the Senate, where he is a vocal advocate for devolution and public accountability. Current development: in early 2026, Sifuna faced internal party friction following the death of long-term leader Raila Amolo Odinga in late 2025. On February 11, 2026, the ODM National Executive Committee (NEC) attempted to remove him as Secretary General while he was away. Court review and reprieve on February 12, 2026. The Political Parties Dispute Tribunal (PPDT) temporarily barred ODM from executing his removal, pending further hearings scheduled for March 2026. And new leadership, some party factions have reportedly proposed a new structure, placing Sifuna as the party leader alongside Winnie Odinga as Secretary General, though this remains as part of the ongoing internal reorganization. And I know that is where most of the young people understood who Sifuna is or where Sifuna came from. But the man you're seeing up here He is the person who mentored Sifuna to become who Sifuna is, and most people say Sifuna carries the spirit of Raila Amolo Odinga. And he's gonna be a tough guy when it comes to politics if all goes well, and many Kenyans wish that he runs for president in 2027, but that for now will not work for him. Well, let's talk about 2032. I have a very good chance for him to enter into politics and do what he does better. And do you think if Sifuna becomes the president, do you think Kenya will be in a better position, or will he just be like the rest of the politicians we've seen and witnessed around the world? Leave your comment in the comment section and don't leave without subscribing. Bye.